name is Matthew Brumpton. I'm a senior application developer at the UK Data Archive. We've been using Umbraco since 4.0 for about 6-7 years, and so we've seen the change from it going from XSLTs, web forms, to MVC, to Angular. And in the last couple of years, we started to think about creating dynamic content and how we can do that, because our content editors can get quite frustrated with the restrictions of a template, and they always want something slightly different. So we've come up with a concept called media layers. And a media layer is a piece of Umbraco content wrapped in some HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and users, content editors, can inject them to create custom templates. So to demonstrate this, I've taken the Umbraco Festival website and rebuilt it on the media layers technology, which I'm going to demo. So if I just scroll down, I'll put media layers are a mechanism to create dynamic content. And examples we put here are a title, which you can see at the top, and then we have some rich text, and then some people cards. It's worth mentioning Amir, who's here. He's our technical brain for Umbraco, and he came up with the original architecture. So if there are any tricky questions, I might refer to Amir. Okay, so he's also a colleague at the UK Data Archive. So this site is online. I'll share a link at the end. And it's all built on media layers. So we have the homepage introduction, and then we have a how-to. And there's 5 basic steps to set up media layers within Umbraco. Okay? It's worth noting that this is built using the nested content feature. And if you're using this before Umbraco 7.7, you'll need to install it as a plugin. After 7.7, it was forked into the core. So now it's a native first-class citizen of Umbraco. So how do you start? Okay, so the first thing is to create some doc types for your media controls. So if I go here, I've created a doc type for a person, a rich text, single image, title, and a YouTube. And within that doc type, you can put the basic fields required. So for a person, I've got the name, an introduction, a bio, and an image. So once you've got all your media types controls set up, you then go on to configure them as nested content. Okay? So I've just lost. So here I've created a generic content doc type, and I've called this media items. And as you can see, I've added the nested content plugin. Now if I go to the settings, this is where you bind up the nested content to doc types. So you can choose what doc type you want to bind up. Okay, you create a tab, and it also comes with a template name. So this is how it will display within the content tree. So you can actually bind it up using these Angular tags to display some of the content, or you can just put a hard-coded title in there. Okay. So now you've got a fully functioning content doc type with all your media controls. We can start thinking about binding them up to HTML. So we use macro scripts. So each media control has its own macro script. So if I jump over to Visual Studio, open up the macro script, and go to the person can see that here is where we grab the doc type content. Okay, so you create one macro script for each media control. Now, the real engine of this is behind the content template. So, as a view, so if I go down to the content, and basically what this does, it grabs all your, it loops through all the media layers and then decides which macro script to render. So, as you can see here, it grabs the media items at the top, then loops through them, and then dynamically injects the macro script with the media layer data. Okay. And then you're ready to go. So once you've got these basic bindings set up, you can then go to your content tree. And here, they display as media items. So on the home page, I showed the title, some rich text. It's going to open. It should just load up. It's been a bit slow. Let's open this one. There you go. So you can see my image. And the beauty of this is you can easily move content around. So if I want to have myself and Amir at the top of the page, it's just a matter of dragging and dropping the media layers. Save and publish. So if I go back to the home page, we should now be at the top. There we are. And you can easily create new media layers. You can just press the plus, the add sign, and you can add a video, a person, an image. I was creating the content for the how-to yesterday, and it's very quick to create dynamic kind of pages. This took about 20 minutes. It's quite suited for like blogs. One of the things we're looking at is actually creating dynamic forms. So each media layer could be a text box, it could be a drop down, so there's the opportunity to use this in lots of situations. So maybe next year we'll be coming with form layers, so it's an ongoing project. And that, in a nutshell, is media layers. I have made this project available online to download, if you wish. It's all a sandbox project with a local database. So you can go to medialayers.brumpton.co.uk. Any questions?
I have some. Why you choose this way rather than, I don't know, using the grid or stacked content, for example? Did you hear about the stacked content package, for example, by Matt Brailsford?
The biggest benefit of this method is letting content writers put their stuff in very small pieces, like small media layers, and reorder them, whatever they do. It's basically for non-technical content writers. When you put different kind of templates or the package you mentioned, it needs a little bit of like technical level. They need to be able to interact with something more technical and rather than normal content writer. And in our organization, most of the people that are using Umbraco as a content writer, they basically have very little knowledge of the how sort of stuff. So that made it much easier for them. And also, as Matthew said, for things like blogs or for like starter kits you want to create, that's much more helpful compared to the existing starter kits.
Okay, good. Because we are doing exactly the same, but usually with the grid and some external packages, because our content editors wants to see how it looks in the front end, kind of. And stacked content was created on the top of the nested content, and it's exactly for this one. It's a new package, so I think it can replace this behavior. But yeah, it's all good. It's all done for the same purpose. But
yeah, well, this is something we're working on, and thinking of packaging it ourselves as media layers. So it sounds like a similar.
Yeah, that's great, and I think that this is how it should be done. I think for editors, but yeah, we are using the grid because we want to have visibility, effect, and an aspect of it.
Okay.
Any others questions? Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
very
yeah,
much,
that's
and
very
thank
good.
you for Cogworks for their website template.